What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Jenks and Hammer podcast. We are officially 3 weeks away from the NFL season,
Let's
so
go.
we'll get in there day by day. We're getting a little closer. Today, we got a good episode. It's another fantasy episode. We're going to be ranking our top 10 fantasy receivers for the upcoming season. And then we also just want to mention that our fantasy league, there's still spots available if you want to be a part of it. Make sure that you're subscribed and you comment below this video. The winner is going to get something from me and Jenks. Jersey,
Most
mini
likely a
helmet.
jersey.
So, it's going to be a lot of fun. See if you guys can beat us. Probably not. So, if you want to be in, make sure you subscribe and comment down below. And let's get into it.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
And here we go.
All right, guys, jumping right into our top 10 receivers for this upcoming fantasy season. At number 10, I got a surprise here. A little bit of a homer pick, but I think it's going to be a fun season to watch. I got Chris Olave at number 10. John's smiling because he knew it was coming. But as a Saints fan, I've got to witness over the practice and through Saints Twitter, everything like that. You see it coming. He's going to have a great season this year, and I think he's going to be that number one receiver for the Saints, and he's going to get most of the targets for this team. I think he's going to do really well this year.
Yeah, number 10, I got AJ Brown number 10. And you know what?
That's low.
He finished last year's number 4 wide receiver. I like him a lot. And he could definitely jump up a couple spots. Like last year, he finished at number 4. But I just like the guys that I have ahead of him way better. And you know what? He's on an awesome offense, right? Great ground attack in Philly, and he's got another receiver in Devontae Smith. Kind of splitting the targets a little bit, and he's got that great tight end Dallas Goedert. So you know what? I think he takes a little bit of a dip this year, but that's not like a bad thing or anything. I just have him at 10 just because of the guys that I like ahead of him.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was about to say there's definitely going to be a few fans wondering why.
Yeah.
Like what's dropping him? So that's a good reason. Like, you're not saying he's going to be bad or anything, but
no, I just think it takes a little dip. It's good offense. I think they can spread the ball around a little bit more. And yeah.
And quickly before we get into my number 9, I just want to mention that Garrett Wilson, because a lot of Jets fans are going to come after us. You probably have Garrett Wilson up there somewhere. I don't. He's my 11th honorable mention, I'd say. But I just want to say I don't have him in there because Aaron Rodgers has a lot of weapons over there now. I think he's going to spread the ball around.
Not really,
he's going to spread the ball, though. I think it's going to be more spread, first of all. And second of all, I also think they're going to be running the ball a good amount now with Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, and they have a solid defense. So I see.
So I get what you mean, that he's gonna, like, the ball's gonna be more spread out and they got other guys, but it's different from the AJ Brown situation because they have another number 1 in Devontae Smith, right? Like, this dude can ball. There's no one else on the Jets. There's no one else on the Jets that's on Garrett Wilson's level like that.
No,
and that's gonna separate him, just like in Green Bay when Aaron had Devontae, and then he had Lazard, he had Cobb, he had other good receivers. But you know what?
I don't know, like, passing volume wise, and the Jets right now, they have a good running attack as well and a good defense. I don't know how much they're gonna. I'm not saying they're not gonna pass like a lot. Like, they're gonna pass a good amount.
You know why?
Pass a good amount. But
Can I tell you why? Because it's Aaron Rodgers. Because it's Aaron Rodgers' organization now. They're gonna do what they do to make him happy.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're gonna pass a lot.
I think he finishes like wide receiver 11. He might finish wide receiver 10. Like, it's gonna be close. Like, I'm not saying. I'm mentioning him because I think it's close.
Because if you want to compare Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, who's got the better QB? Garrett Wilson. Who's got more listen. Who's got a better QB? Garrett Wilson. Who's got more weapons around him? Chris Olave.
Yeah, but I still think Chris Olave right now.
No, because you're a homer. But all right, move on. I'm done talking about Chris Olave.
I mean, that's what I mentioned it right when it started. It's a homer pick, but I think it's gonna happen. But
all right.
Garrett Wilson could finish top 10. Who knows? But I'm telling you, Chris Olave is up there. Number 9, I got CeeDee Lamb just because he's the only.
Wow, CeeDee Lamb, really?
Yeah, really the only receiver that's on the Cowboys team that's like. I mean, they have Brandon Cooks now. I think isn't Michael Gallup still there?
Gallup.
But with Dak Prescott kind of in a year where he has to prove himself, I think he's gonna be trying to find his number 1 receiver a little bit more this year. And I just think CeeDee is gonna be their touchdown their
Yeah,
touchdown leader for this
CD
yeah.
Lamb finished number 6 in fantasy last year.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit of a drop off, like it's not a steep drop off or anything like that, but I think he'll still be top 10. Number 9, I think is solid for him.
Yeah, number 9 I got St. Brown. I have him at 9 just because I love St. Brown. I had him last year. He was a total stud. I think he's gonna be a stud again. I mean, he's gonna be, according to me, he's gonna be the 9th best receiver, right? I just like the guys that I have ahead of him more. And I think in that offense, right, they got David Montgomery, they got Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they're gonna run the ball a little bit more. And I think you're gonna see Jared Goff spread the ball a little bit more around, especially when you got Jameson Williams back, fully healthy. I think
He's out for a little bit though. Yeah, he's suspended for I think 6 games. I want to say.
who he is.
Yeah, you didn't know about that? Yeah, he like
No, I
gambled away his.
didn't.
He
You think I
gambled it
listened
away.
to Detroit Lions news? I don't
Yeah,
care.
it was a big thing. He gambled his like in the
Oh
building
yeah, he
of the
did. When was that though?
something.
That was a while ago.
It was a
No,
long time ago, but it was like
I
a whole
totally forgot.
thing. But he's had injury concerns as well. So Jameson Williams is a
But
project.
yeah,
Right?
but besides that, whatever. But I got St. Brown at 9, and I think Jared Goff's a good QB, and he gets the ball to him. But when I look at my list and I look at the 8 guys ahead of him, I like their QBs and their connection better. So yeah, I have St. Brown at 9,
Yeah,
which
I don't
which is
mind
where
it.
which is where he finished last year. So I think he's a similar season.
I got him at 8. That's my 8th
Okay.
guy. So it's like similar kind of
Yeah,
perception.
I flip flop with you because I got Lamb at 8.
Yeah. So there you go. You get those 2
Yeah.
settled out. Like those are 2 guys that I think are gonna be solid as the number 1 receiver for their team. And it's like they're
Yep.
gonna be the focuses of the offense most likely. So you're gonna have good fantasy years. And I'd say 2nd round picks, solid. I mean, CD
Yeah,
Lamb maybe
absolutely.
early 3rd, but 2nd round pick for Amon Ra, I'm taking that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
they're
mind that at all.
CD Lamb and St. Brown are both high second round picks.
Yeah. I
You know
mean,
what
they're
I
good
mean?
picks.
Yeah,
Because
CD Lamb's awesome. I love him and Dak have an awesome connection. When Dallas and Green Bay played each other last year, he's been like the only like receiver that like I've seen really like kind of cook Jair. Like he was getting past Jair. He was making
yeah,
plays on Jair. So
love
I
CD.
have a lot of respect for him. Yeah, he's a stud. I also had him last year. I made a trade for him at the deadline, so I had CD and St. Brown. They were my 2 guys, but I got him at 8 and 9. Jenks has him. Same
Yeah.
thing, flip
As
flop. So yeah.
As an OU fan, I can't say enough. Like I love CD Lamb. Like he's just a great route runner, great hands, everything.
Yeah.
So he's got the total package. I guess so. I mean, we kind of covered 8. I'll just jump to 7. I think at 7 I got AJ Brown, so a little bit higher than Hammer has him, but still not like top 5. I don't think he's gonna be a top 5 receiver this year again, but I think he's gonna be solid. Like I think he's gonna have a similar season to last year, maybe a little bit of a drop off, but I think with Jalen Hurts as quarterback, and they still have Devontae Smith as well, Dallas Goedert, like you said. Like I just think that he's gonna have a solid year, but maybe a slight dip. But he's definitely worth a top 2 round pick. So
Yeah.
not too
Yeah,
big of a
all
dip.
these guys, I mean, these 10 receivers, really, they should all be like if they're not taken by the mid of the second round, you know what I mean? The middle of the second round, if they're not all off the board by then you got a weird draft. You got some weird people in your drafts.
Yeah,
Because these
because
guys are just like the receivers this year, and I guess the past couple of years, like there's really like, I mean, like, it's stacked. And it's just because the game has changed so much, where it's just favoring the pass and, the QBs are better, you know what I mean? And protecting them, which means they're going to pass more and this and that. So it just, and you look down the list, I mean, 10 guys, but I'm looking at the last year's list and there's like, whoa, there's like 20 guys that I really like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
And that's the thing. Like receivers so deep that like
so
running
deep.
backs right now are like sort of what you should be focusing. Because if you nail down like 2 solid running backs start of the draft, you're kind of set because everyone's kind of scarce on running backs at the end of the year. So I think definitely like you can lock down one of these guys as your number 1 receiver at the start of the
Oh, yeah.
draft, you're set. So
Yep.
who's your
Yeah,
7?
at number 7, I got Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Wilson. If you've been watching Hard Knocks,
He
dude's
looks
fun
good.
to
He
watch.
looks good on Hard Knocks.
He's a stud. He's going against one of the best corners too, but he's going against one of the best corners, right, in the game every single day of practice. Like that makes you better. He's playing with Aaron Rodgers now. No more Zach Wilson. He's playing with Aaron effing Rodgers. You know what I mean? He's gonna get targets. He's gonna get love, just like Aaron's old 17 did. Like he's gonna have a monster year. I have him
Flashbacks.
in one of my fantasy leagues that we already drafted in. I'm gonna show you guys at the end of the video my fantasy team, but I drafted him in the second round. Yeah, and total steal. I love him. I expect big things. So
Yeah, I mean, I really don't mind that. Like, I don't mind putting him up that high. I definitely wouldn't put him like probably past that. But like you said, I mean, I value Olave and Wilson pretty much the same. I think there's similar roles on the teams, and I think there's similar skill sets as well. They're both really good route runners, and they have a deep threat ability, as well as a little bit of run after the catch, everything like that. So I just think both solid guys. I honestly don't mind that pick at all. Number 7 is a great spot for Wilson. At number 6, I got Cooper Kupp. And the reason he's not top 5 for me is because I think last season, I think he started off and had an amazing season. I think he was number 1 as a receiver. Yeah, he was balling out.
He was number 1, number 2 and everything.
Yeah, and
receptions,
like he was 2 years
touchdowns.
ago. Yeah,
yep,
same thing. So I think you could have that some similar type of season. The whole thing is Matt Stafford going to stay healthy, and is he going to stay healthy? I think that's really the only thing preventing me from drafting him as a top 5 receiver. It's not going to stop me from taking him in the second round if he's the number 1 receiver available. I wouldn't say that, but if none of these other 5 guys are available, I think he's a good pick. But I just think the other 5 guys I have are more of like I want to say solid and more. I guess I'd say less risky pick just because of injuries and everything like that. In my opinion.
Injury prone, and like you said, not just him, but the QB's injury prone. So you got to factor that stuff in, and then you look at that Rams team, and Cooper Kupp's the only weapon they have, right? Like that's it. There's no more Odell there, right? Like it's just Cooper Kupp, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta keep that in mind a little bit because defenses are gonna be like, we don't really have to worry about anyone else. You know what I mean? We're not scared of Cam Akers at running the back. Like they're really gonna key in even more on Cooper Kupp. So you got to keep that in mind. I have him a little higher on the list just because I think he's a stud. I mean, from 2 years ago, what he did, he had a hot start last year before the injury. Stafford's back and healthy. Hopefully it stays that way. And I believe it will. So that's why I'm a little high on the list. But number 6, I have Stephon Diggs. He finished number 5 last year. And yeah, I'm at 6, kind of like the same spot. Not much has to be said here. He's got Josh Allen as QB. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't, he doesn't have anyone really stealing his reps or anything. So, yeah.
I mean, the Bills are interesting because similar to last year, like last year after 2 years ago, Gabe Davis came out in the playoff game, balled out. Everyone thought, oh, Gabe Davis is going to steal all of Stephon Diggs' reps or steal half of them or something like that. And then he didn't. It didn't really happen. Gabe Davis would have some games where he'd go off and then be silent the next. So a guy like Stephon Diggs is definitely an interesting pick. And I personally, I have him flip-flopped with you, so I have him at 5. So a little bit different there. But, I mean, Stephon Diggs definitely a solid receiver, and I think Josh Allen's going to keep on throwing him the ball as their connections.
You have him at 5?
Last year. Yeah.
Okay. So my number 5 is Tyreek Hill. I mean, he could be top 3 if Tua stays healthy and he does his thing.
Tua's going to get hurt?
It's a possibility. Very injury prone. He's got Jalen Waddle too alongside of him.
I don't know.
It kind of just it depends how you look at their fellow receivers and stuff. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it going to steal reps? Is it going to open more things up? You know what I mean? I don't think Waddle shuts down or hurts Hill that much, like some other receivers and their partners do. But yeah, I mean Hill, not much has been, be said here. He's the most explosive receiver in the game. I got him at number 5. Last year he finished at number 3. He's got a little dip, but I have him at 5 because these next 2 guys I have, Kupp is number 4 for me. Right, he was injured last year, so that's why I think he stays healthy. I think he jumps Tyreek Hill, and another guy who was injured last year, I think is going to jump him. We both have him above. I'm guessing Jamar Chase, right? So I think Tyreek Hill is going to take a dip to number 5.
One thing I want to say is before we talk about Tua's injury health, you see him roll yesterday. Yesterday in his preseason game, he rolled instead of landing on his head, and everyone was talking about it. It was big news that his jiu-jitsu was coming in handy. I'm just kidding. I just think it's a joke. Like
It's Cobra
he
Kai.
rolled. Cobra Kai never die. Anyways, I think it's still a solid pick. Tyreek Hill, I have him up higher, and we'll get to that in a second. My number 4 that was your number 5, right?
Yep.
Okay, and my number 4 is gonna be Devontae Adams, and the reason he's not like top 3 or anything like that, purely because of Jimmy G being his quarterback, which is like, I think he's gonna be good. I do, but is Jimmy G gonna be the guy to give him the ball? I don't know. Who knows with Jimmy G? I think it's gonna be pretty solid, and that's why I got a 4. Like 4 is not bad, and John's shaking his head because he loves Devontae, which I'll respect. I would too, but. Like I don't know. I think 4 is a respectable spot for him here, and I think he's still gonna have a solid year. I think he's gonna have 10 plus touchdowns easily. He's gonna have, I'd say probably 115 catches, 110, something like that. 10 touchdowns. That's a damn good season. So I think he's gonna be solid. But they also have a few other weapons. Forgot who was the receiver they got in free agency. It was
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. So. I don't know. I don't know if Jimmy G is going to spread it around a lot or he's going to focus on Devontae, but I think number 4 is a good spot for Devontae, in my opinion.
Okay. So my number 4, like I said, is Cooper Kupp. We talked about him. I'm not going to get into him. So my number 3 is Devontae Adams. He was number 2 last year with Derek Carr's play, and the end of the season when Derek Carr got benched, he was still balling out with Stidham or whoever.
He was Derek Carr's favorite weapon, though, for sure, on that team.
Yeah, of course.
Which makes sense.
Everyone's favorite weapon. But I'm just saying, like, I'm shaking my head, not because you have him at 4. I'm at 3, right? I mean, top 3, top 4, kind of same spot. I'm shaking my head because of the Jimmy G. Like, Derek Carr was not good last year. And, like, Devontae finished as number 2 receiver.
No,
so I'm like, how much worse do you think Jimmy G is going to be?
No,
I'm talking Derek Carr last year.
Derek Carr,
Devontae can't repeat.
Derek Carr loved throwing the ball to Devontae. I'm saying I don't know.
So was Jimmy G. It's Devontae.
No, but I'm saying I don't know if Jimmy G is going to be able to do it as well. Derek Carr is a good quarterback.
I think he will. And Jimmy G's a good quarterback. He is.
I don't know.
Jimmy is.
Jimmy G's pretty
He is a good quarterback. He's a top half quarterback. Yes, he is.
I don't know if he's. Okay, here's the thing. I think Derek Carr can make more impressive throws. I think Jimmy G is a solid quarterback. I'm not going to say he's bad,
he's solid,
but I don't think he's
just like Derek Carr.
I don't think he has the arm talent that Derek Carr has.
I know, but what's Derek Carr's arm talent? It's nothing special. But
Jimmy G,
it's nothing special.
Okay, but Derek Carr loves the deep balls to Devontae Adams. Like you see a few of those throws that are in small holes to Devontae down the field. That's the kind of throw that Jimmy G, I don't know if he can make. Jimmy G's a good intermediate throw kind of guy, which Devontae's still going to be able to do.
Which Devontae's going to do, and he's going to run after the catch like he always does.
But I'm saying, like, I don't know. I think it takes him down to 4, which is like big whoop, 2 spots.
Yeah, I know.
Big deal.
Yeah, it's not. But I don't think Jimmy G affects him like at all. Like I mean, compared to what Derek Carr was, because I see Derek Carr and Jimmy G the same tier of QB. Is Derek Carr talented than Jimmy G? Yeah, but is he that much better than Jimmy G? No.
And I see where you're going with that. But I'm saying, like, personally, I think the deep balls to Devontae Adams were a great thing with Derek Carr. And I don't know if Jimmy G is going to be able to make those deep ball throws, which might hurt his fantasy value just a little bit.
When Devontae's got 5 yards of separation, he'll be able to.
I don't know. You couldn't hit Debo and Emmanuel Sanders on deep balls.
Trust me.
You see in the Super Bowl when Emmanuel Sanders was wide open, he threw it 10 yards over his head.
He wasn't wide open, and he threw it 3 yards over.
He was ahead of him. Still threw it way past
him. I know.
Him.
He missed the throw.
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl. Missed the throw. 2 minutes left.
I don't know.
Doesn't mean he's going to miss it come week 7 in the second quarter. All right? So let's take it easy.
I don't know, man. I think Devontae – it's not a hate on Devontae. That's all I'm saying.
He's the best route runner in the NFL. I'm just saying he's a stud.
Anyway,
I'm just saying I don't think the Jimmy G affects him.
No, I get it.
It just doesn't to me.
I think it does a little bit. That's why I have him a couple spots lower. Anyways, number 3, I got Tyreek Hill, purely because of his speed and his explosiveness. Like, he's shown time and time again, like, he's an explosive guy, and fantasy, that's what matters. His fantasy value every single week is going to be amazing compared to a lot of these other receivers, just because he's able to be a playmaker anytime he gets the ball. Anytime he gets the ball, you can run up to the catch and deep balls. Like, those are his 2 best things. And in fantasy, those things are so valuable to a receiver. So that's why I'm at number 3 versus I think you had him at 5, which really isn't that big of a difference here. But I think number 3 is a great spot for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. So number 2, I got Jamar Chase. Right, he's coming back from injury, which is why a lot of these guys that I have on my list are kind of taking a step back or
Yeah.
1 or 2 spots back because of this guy. He's coming back. He's fully healthy. Sounds like Joe Burrow is going to be good for week 1. You know what I mean? So I expect nothing less for Jamar Chase, but to finish in the top 3. And I have at number 2 because he's got the great QB play and that connection, a special dating all the way back to college. So give me Jamar Chase at 2.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna go out here and say it right now. I think everyone has the same 2 and 1. Whether or not you're into fantasy football or if you're just a normal fantasy fan, I think everyone knows the top 2 receivers in the league. And Jamar Chase isn't gonna take a step back. He's been good for 2 years in a row now. And the guy that's next above him, like you can't put anyone above him. He's the solidified number 1 easily. So I have Jamar Chase. And
you have Jamar Chase at 2?
Yeah, at 2. Yeah.
All right. Number 1, I got Christian Watson.
Okay. Jump scared all the viewers right there a little bit. But no, Justin Jefferson, I mean, no one can go wrong with Justin Jefferson. You take him in the top 3 of fantasy draft. No one's going to look at you differently. Like,
no, he's the number 1 pick. He's the number 1 pick in every draft.
It's either right now I've seen some people are saying Travis Kelce, but that's such a risk.
Travis Kelce?
No, a lot of people I've seen that.
What kind of people are you seeing?
Listen.
Look, the number 1 pick this year is Justin Jefferson, and if it's not, you're probably going Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think that's Justin Jefferson, I don't even know off the top of my head how many points he had exactly. But
last year he had
it's up there, man. It was at least 400 something. Because he gets an insane amount of yards and receptions every game plus touchdowns. So it's he's getting you all 3 things that get you a lot of points fantasy, which some guys are getting just receptions, not touchdowns, stuff like that. So this guy, Justin Jefferson, I mean, you can't go wrong with him. He's going to be grading every single week in the end zone. So
except for there's 2 weeks they play the Packers, the Vikings. But
yeah.
Well, last time we played the Packers, he had 1.5 points.
Yeah.
So do what you want.
No, I mean, I get it. No, I'm not even hating on that. I really don't mind. But anyways, I don't really have to worry about it. I don't think we play the Vikings this year. We might.
I don't have to worry about it either. I don't have to worry about it either. I got number 23 on my team.
Yeah, and we got a number 23 over here in the Saints called Marshawn Lattimore. He's the same age as Jair.
He's not.
I think he's around the same age.
Yeah, rounds, but Jair's younger.
Dude, and then they're both top 5 in my opinion. So
both top 5 corners.
Or we'll be up to see. I think it's up for
Jair.
There's a lot of
Jair, not in order, but Jair, Sauce, Jalen Ramsey. Who's 4 and 5?
Patrick Surtain's up there.
Oh yeah, Surtain.
And then I think Lattimore, in my opinion. But
who other guys though?
Lattimore was hurt.
Who's I think? Who other guys though?
So who'd you list already?
Jair, Sauce, Jalen Ramsey, Pat Surtain.
Jalen Ramsey though, dude, he's great at tackling and everything like that. But he's just you see him sometimes, and it's
you still have to put him up though. The Diggs talk is stupid. Darius Slay, you could put up there.
Yeah, but I like
Humphrey.
Darius Slay.
Marlon Humphrey. You could put Marlon Humphrey up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 5, you could do 4 through 8. I want to say those next 4 guys after the guys you listed are kind of all interchangeable with different skills. But I will say Sauce Gardner, I think this year might have a little bit of a drop off because I think more people are going to have their eyes on him. Try to attack him a little bit. I think he's going to have a little bit more holding penalties called, more PIs called. The refs are going to be watching him a little bit more.
Can't forget about Stephon Gilmore.
No, he's not top 8 anymore. He hasn't had an impact like he usually does.
I don't know who I put at 5. I'm looking at all these lists, and I'm not just saying this because of you, but I didn't see one with Lattimore.
No, I get it. Last year he had an off year because he was hurt, but then he came back, and his first game back he had a pick 6. But it's just it's like he had an injury year, so he's not on people's minds right now, which I completely get. I'm not upset about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, corners are kind of a fluctuating position based off prior year performance. So
it changes. Yeah, corner change. I feel like corner changes every week. If you have a big matchup or make a big play against a top receiver, you could become a
Yeah.
top 5 corner. Like, a big performance that can change it.
Yeah. And Lattimore is
So,
going to be put to the test pretty quick. I mean,
who's you got?
week one, he has D Hop. So pretty quick, you get to see how he's going to do
D-Hop.
this season and set it up. But I mean, D Hop doesn't have an insane quarterback to get him the ball this year. So that's a little bit of a plus for the Saints. But anyways,
Jair's got some good matchups. The first real
Yeah.
one is Olave, I guess.
yeah, week 3. Yeah. That's a
Like,
good one.
big matchup because the first 2 weeks he's got DJ Moore. I think Fields is crap. Second one he's got Drake London. No. Chris Olave.
Let me just check.
Week 4 they got Lions, St. Brown. He's got Justin Jefferson twice.
I want to say week 2 we got week 2 we had the Panthers, like Adam Thielen, like
No.
big whoop.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
But-
what news real quick do you want to talk about, Hammer? You have any news? I know I guess this week of preseason wasn't really very
I just
very
got
telling.
some news about my boy Jordan Love. He's
Okay,
gonna
go ahead.
be. Hold on. He had a good practice last week against Cincinnati. He played the first 2 drives, went 7 for 10, like 40 something yards and a touchdown. He missed one throw. Turns out it was a no look throw. He was looking off the safety. Boom, zing, and just kind of put it over Musgrave's head a little bit, overthrew it a little bit. Had a great week, had a great Wednesday against the Patriots in joint practices. Like, lit them up. Bill Belichick's defense. Say where you want them at the Patriots. That's a good defense. They got some
Yeah.
good players on that side of the
You're gonna have a
ball.
good D every
They're
year.
well coached. Yep, discipline, everything. Last night he had 3 drives. I think he went 5 for 7. I think he went like 5 or 7 with like 80 something yards. He ran for 11 yards on one play. He had a touchdown. He looks good. He just looks so relaxed, calm. He's going through his reads. He doesn't look like he's freaking out. You know what I mean? Like he did his first year into first 2 years. It looks like that Philly game when he looked just calm. He's going through his reads. Boom, boom, check down. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. Packer fans are excited. He's at an awesome camp. I think he's gonna be a lot better than people think, and I just can't wait to watch. I can't wait to see him like play a full season. It's exciting, and you got young weapons and watch them grow together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if things go right, 2-3 years from now, the Packers could have a very, very scary offense with Romeo Doubs,
Yeah.
Christian Watson, Luke Musgrave at tight ends.
It's definitely intriguing. I'll give you that. Like I'm interested to see how he plays. I do think like this year's a good year for him to settle in. Like, even if he doesn't explode this year, like it's a good year for him to come in
Nah.
and just
Nah,
kind of
I'm not
just
saying
like
explodes.
learn his,
I don't
yeah.
think he has over 30 touchdowns, but I'm saying like
but you know what I mean? Like
he's
he's
gonna have, like,
get
25
into the offense,
touchdowns.
everything like that.
the
and
Packers are either
acclimate.
good. I think the Packers are gonna win 8-9 games. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'd give
Like,
him 8 or 9. Yeah,
they're gonna-
that's about what I've been saying.
I think 8-9 games. The schedule is kind of easy in the beginning and at the end. The middle's a little tough. Division's up for grabs. Look,
Yeah.
defense, they get a bunch of first round picks on. Offense is young, but they got a good running game, good offensive line. I don't know. It's gonna be exciting. But
Yeah, I think-
before we get it, but that's Jordan Love. But now I gotta read off my fantasy team.
Okay, yeah, go
So
ahead.
this
go ahead.
fantasy team. So we drafted a little early, me and my buddies, because we wanted to get together before everyone went back to school. We do this league with our dads and our brothers, and it's like kind of like a big family league between us. It's a 2 QB league, so that's something new. I've never done a 2 QB league before. None of us have, so we really didn't know what to expect, like how the draft board was going to fall and everything. But I looked at it and I was like, I think others are going to get QBs. In the first 2 rounds, like Mahomes, Burrow, and that means, I'm going to get some good receivers, running back skill guys are going to drop to me. So my first 3 picks were this: Eckler, Travis Kelce, and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, see, that's good. Like
Pretty
that's
damn-
solid.
It's
Who you-
awesome.
Okay, now give
'Cause I
me 2
would- 'cause-
quarterbacks.
Because I was like, I think I could find 2 decent QBs with high upside towards the end of
Yeah,
the draft. So that was
Let's
my
hear the
strategy.
quarterbacks.
So we go 2 QBs, Tua, Derek Carr, right? I look at
Okay.
2 guys, but they both have a lot of weapons. They're decent, right? The middle of the pack. They both have big upside, right?
Here's my hot take for those two. I think Derek Carr is gonna have a better season than Tua this year. But that's
Maybe.
just like a small hot take there. Anyways.
Maybe. Running back, I got Austin Eckler, who was my first round pick, but
Mhm.
number 6 overall. Was my number 2 running back. The way the board fell, I liked him over the receivers at the time. You know what I mean? We talked about receivers. You could get good receivers in the later rounds. Running backs go quick, and once the top ones are gone, they're gone, and then after that, it doesn't look too pretty. So I went Eckler. I got Aaron Jones in the 4th round. All right, my receiver, I got Garrett Wilson, Scary Terry. I got Travis Kelce.
this year.
Travis Kelce. At the flex right now, I got Dalvin Cook. I drafted him. He wasn't signed yet, but I got him.
Undrafted.
That's a big pickup. I got Jets defense. I got the Chiefs kicker, Buckner, as kicker, and then my bench is looking like Miles Sanders. Not bad. They're starting back, right? Jordan Addison. Bryce Young as backup QB. Jamal Williams. Odell. Romeo Doubs having a huge preseason. He's one of my sleepers. And Jonathan Taylor. It got to the point
solid.
where Jonathan Taylor was still there. And I was just like, I got to get him at this point. I was good with my running backs. So I could kind of afford to spend that pick on a, hit or miss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy with my team in that spot. He was still there. It was in the later rounds. I was like, screw it. The upside is amazing. Hopefully, hopefully he gets traded or he figures it out with the Colts. But if not, that stinks. But look, I look at my running backs and if not, all right, that's cool. I can roll with Eckler, Aaron Jones, Sanders, and Dalvin Cook and Jamal Williams. You know what I mean? And if I do have him, I have Jonathan Taylor, and I can use one of the other guys for trade bait.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Is trade bait is huge there. I think the only reason Jonathan Taylor was falling is just for the reason you said was his whole contract dispute and everything like that.
Yeah.
He was already he's already up there in the draft boards, but purely because of that, he's falling a little bit. He didn't have a huge performance last year like he was expected to, but he was still solid. Like you said, that's just a great guy to have. What is he, a 5th or 6th back right now?
Yeah, he's my 5th back.
Yeah, that's
great.
my
fourth back right now. No, not even. He's my 6th. I got Eckler, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Sanders, Jamal Williams. He's my 6th running back. Think about that. My 5th running back though is Jamal Williams, who's supposed to get 12.7. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jamal, and that's the key. The key there is RB depth. We talked about that earlier.
And I got it.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking about moving one of them for a receiver.
Yeah, you definitely could. I think it'd be worth it.
Because my receivers are Garrett Wilson, who I'm high on. Scary Terry's awesome. Just the QB plays iffy. But I got Travis Kelce, who makes up for a lot because he's basically a receiver, right? I got Jordan Addison, who's got a lot of upside. I got Romeo Doubs, who's got some upside. And I got Odell, who's going
to be an RB. I think he's going to be receiver 1 this year.
Yeah, but he's going to be interesting to see, if he can stay healthy and that connection with Lamar. But looking at my team, I'm happy with the QB. You know what I mean? 2 upside guys, and I think my running backs are very deep, so I could definitely move maybe a running back and Odell for a tier 2 receiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To maybe challenge Terry for that 2 spot. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a top 1 to 2 team in the league. I haven't heard the other teams, but that's all. You have depth at all positions, and Travis Kelce at tight end is that's all you needed as a tight end.
Yeah.
You're gonna be set there. Unless he gets hurt, barring injury or anything like that. But I think it's a good team. So,
thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, bud. You're welcome. Anyways,
do you see the Saints I have? Derek Carr, Jamal Williams.
No, I respect it. You're usually a hater.
Grayson doesn't shut up, so I was like, I gotta take him.
No, he's usually a hater, but I'm telling you,
and
Derek Carr's gonna be good this year.
Me and Grayson are in a big league where we're both commissioners of the team. We draft together. We call each other Sunday mornings, say good luck to each other. We set our lineup together. You know what I mean? So that on that team, we'll probably have 2 Packers, 2 Saints at least.
We gotta have at least a couple of our guys.
Yeah. So I was you know what? I was might as well get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah. It works out in the end. We're gonna have a good year.
Who do we have last year on the Saints and Packers?
Well, so we after the 2 weeks of dominance, I think we traded for Michael Thomas.
And then he got injured.
But it was
we're not touching Michael Thomas this year.
We traded a bunch of bench guys. We traded a bunch of bench guys for him, so it was
I know, but we're not touching him.
Then I think other Saints. We had Kamara.
He sucked. He sucked last year. I'm
Which,
sorry,
like,
but he did. He
It was-
did.
No. Here's the thing. Like, he had like
He did.
800 yards. The only thing that he had like 500 receiving yards, 800 rushing yards, but he only had 4 touchdowns because Pete Carmichael
Yeah.
refused to give him the
He
ball.
fumbled
Like,
a lot too, though.
Yeah, he definitely had an off year, but it was.
And
it
I
was
think
exciting.
we picked up Christian Watson off the
At
waivers,
the
which
end,
was nice.
we drafted him. We originally drafted
and
Christian
then we
Watson.
dropped him because he was doing
Dropped him 'cause he
nothing.
was
And then we picked and we
nothing.
picked him up, and he was our flex for that span of weeks, and he was awesome. He was getting 20 a game.
We had to come back, but
Yeah,
failed in that. Anyways,
but it's exciting. We'll let you know how that team goes because I think we're drafting. When are we drafting?
we'll keep it updated.
September-
I think the
September or
Monday
something?
before the season starts.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like the 4th.
The 4th. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
I
we're
mean-
getting ready. That's coming up. It's coming
Yeah.
up. It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, there wasn't really any news to give. So I mean, this fantasy talk isn't bad for anyone. So
Yeah.
I mean, 2 weeks. We'll try to. I don't know if we will record us doing that draft or anything like that. I don't know if we're gonna be doing anything for
Maybe.
that, but
We'll see.
we'll see. We'll tell you guys the team, everything like that, so we can hear your feedback. So
Yeah.
go from there. I mean, news wise, there really wasn't anything. Jadeveon Clowney is signing with the Ravens. Just like, okay, it's not a big deal. It's a 1-year deal. And we got Dalvin Cook to the Jets. I don't think we talked about that last episode, but we mentioned that a lot already.
Zeke to the Patriots.
Zeke to the Patriots, but I don't know how I feel about that because, and there were a lot of pictures and videos of him, and he looks a little bit bigger.
I know. That's why I had Stevenson last year in fantasy. He was my flex. I loved him. He had a lot of receptions. And, not that Zeke's going to steal receptions from him, but, he's going to steal
The
on the
goal
field
line.
time. You know what I
think
mean?
goal
And,
line
yeah,
too.
touches. So, I mean, like, that kind of sucks for Amandre Stevenson. I think he's
I'm high
not
on
really,
him, but
he used to be like a good running back too, but now, I don't know.
yeah, it definitely is going to
Definitely hurts him.
And touchdowns too. I think it hurts him in touchdowns, so that's what matters.
Yeah.
And then lastly, just want to mention this before we go. Saints play tonight. Interested to see how they do. Brian Brissy plays. I think he's going to play. I mean, he should. He's been showing flashes, but nothing insane yet. A.T. Perry's a rookie receiver we got who looks pretty good. And then I think Jameis is starting tonight, so we'll see how Jameis does. I just like Jameis because he's like a comedian. He's not going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints this year at all, but I mean, barring injury. But I love Jameis as a guy in the team, and your boy Jamal Williams. I don't think he's going to be playing because I think he's basically like solidified as the RB1
back.
for
Yeah.
when Kamara's gone. So I'm interested to
Mhm.
see how they do. But California's about to get like destroyed, and they're still playing, so that's interesting. I think I saw a notification on my phone. Their earthquake hit as well right before the game.
Oh, wow.
So they're getting like pummeled over there. So I'm interested to see what's going on. I'll go look after this podcast. So
Game's at 7:00, right?
yeah, it's 7:00. So
Nice,
in
nice,
30
nice.
minutes.
Nice.
Anyways, let's get out of here.
All right. Well, with that being said, we hope you guys have an awesome week. Like we said, 3 more weeks. You know what I mean? Like 3 more weeks. So that means probably do 2 more episodes. Probably about fantasy a little bit, some news.
Predictions.
That last episode, and then that last episode before the season is going to be our predictions for that week, and that's going to be the routine, the format of these episodes coming up. You know what I mean? We're going to be recapping the week, predicting, giving you guys any news. So that's when the fun's going to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped, and we're also like thinking about doing like possible like live streams during like some different like primetime games, like the Manning pod or the Manning stream. But I mean,
Thursday or Monday night.
yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't even know if we'll be able to do it just because like scheduling and everything like that. But we'll
Yeah.
see, and it's definitely something we'll let you guys know. But 3 more weeks per week 1. I'll be at the Dome week 1. I'll try to take
He's
some
going to
videos
the
for
game.
pod.
There
It's
you
gonna be
go.
so hype, so excited. But
That's awesome.
anyways,
Yep. I'm going to the Packers Giants game, week 14 in MetLife, Monday Night Football. So that's exciting. But hey, football season's almost here. 3 weeks away. The episode's going to keep on getting better. So keep on tuning in, coming back to us. With that being said, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Hammer Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks Hammer Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join the Fantasy
thing.
Football League, make sure you subscribe and comment down below, and we can enter you in.
Let's
So
do
have
it.
an awesome week, and we'll see you guys next Monday.
See you guys.
thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!